Hey scientists, today we are going to talk about igneous rocks and where rocks come from. Alright, so have you ever wondered, where do rocks come from? Actually, rocks are born from volcanoes. Now, these newly formed rocks are called igneous rocks, and they either come from volcanoes or they come from hot molten magma underneath the ground. You can think of magma as liquid rock, and when it reaches the surface, it cools down and becomes solid igneous rock. Some eruptions are forceful explosions, while some just ooze slowly and collect in areas underground. Depending on the type of eruption, different types of igneous rocks will form. So this is kind of like candy. Okay, with sugar, depending on how you heat and cool sugar, it will either become hard and crunchy like a lollipop, or it will be soft and stretchy like taffy. Alright, so let's take a look at 3 examples of igneous rocks. The first one we're going to talk about is pumice. Now, when a volcanic eruption is explosive, it will expel a lot of air through the magma, and as it cools down, it creates all these little air bubbles inside of the cooling rock. Now, this process makes a rock like pumice, and due to all those air bubbles, pumice is known to actually float on water because of all the air that's inside. Okay, so next up we have obsidian. Now, when the lava flow is slow and gradual, and not a lot of air gets into the magma, it will cool down and create rocks like obsidian, which is very glassy and smooth. Now, obsidian is often used as arrowheads because it's easy to flake off and create very sharp edges with the rock. Okay, so next up we're going to look at granite. Now, sometimes magma doesn't erupt, it actually gets trapped in pockets underneath the ground. Once it cools down, it will cool into a rock called granite. Now, granite is very strong and it's used for many different things, including building buildings, making countertops, and actually Mount Rushmore in South Dakota is made mostly of granite. Alright, so now that you've learned about igneous rocks and where rocks come from, I want to encourage you to start up your own rock collection. Okay, while you're walking around outside or when you visit a new place, keep your eye out for cool rocks. Now keep in mind that the rocks you find will very likely be millions and millions of years old. Now, they don't have to be igneous rocks, the ones that you find, but you can just start up a collection of whatever rocks you do find. If they are igneous, that's awesome. Now, a good place to keep rocks, your rock collection, is an egg carton. You can put them in the different slots, and you can start labeling them up here on the top. Now, I'm going to show you my favorite rock that I've ever found, which is this one right here. It's big and round. I found this when I went to Oregon for the solar eclipse. And every time I see it, it just reminds me of that trip. It's a great way to kind of have a keepsake from a fun trip you take. So I encourage you to start up your own collection, and thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, scientists, thanks for watching. Did you enjoy that lesson? Subscribe below to see more fun science videos. You can also become a member of PS Science on Patreon to support what we're doing. See you next time.